very much invested in that whole algorithm and that okay, now we've got something that's really going to make a difference. But if you really look at it, how many customers really happen? There's very little data that you have to actually train something to give you this. But anyway, it was back to the drawing board, and it took us almost about a year to fine-tune this algorithm, by which time we had lost our credibility and nobody would believe us. But suffices to say that there were a couple of incidents where we actually found something which could have had, the reputation would have been similar. And that was the time when our then Defence Minister, Mr. Manohar Parrikar, so he came to our office and we had something very similar to this where we used to work out of, and then he said, and dikhao kya kiya, and so we showed him, and this kind of coincided with the time that I had decided to hang up my uniform and move on and do something of my own, which is what I do now with my postmate. And I'm happy to say that we are now partners with an Israeli company, which is, we are the Make in India partners, and this company is into maritime data analytics. They, you all seen Netflix Narcos?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Narcos, the DEA and Agent Pinya and those kind of people. So this company helps them. So if you read in the paper, so-and-so fishing boat caught with 1.5 tons of cocaine on it, that's basically them. And now, thankfully, us. Just break it down totally, like in very simple terms. I will not get mathematical at all. I will try to keep it extremely interesting because, well, we live in interesting times, right? I think every day when you get up in the morning, or at least when I get up in the morning, it's looking at your Twitter feed and things are changing at a very, very rapid rate. Whether this is good or bad, I don't know. But things are changing, and I was also researching. So if you look at this, may you live in interesting times, is actually a Chinese curse, which was given by the Chinese to their enemies. Because interesting times actually means hard times, So obviously there is a lot of skepticism about AI coming in, and which I also think is primarily because of having brought up on movies like The Terminator, where that's what we think AI is. A very dystopian view, I would think, about the future. But at the same time, it's you can't be too utopian also, because it's not that AI is going to be there and everything is going to be hunky-dory. I don't think so. There are going to be, if you look at any new technology that comes in, there was atomic energy, nuclear energy. So while it gives you clean energy, but there are atomic bombs too. So I think there are pros and cons of everything, and hopefully, believing in the general goodness of human beings, I think that AI in general is going to be very, very good for the human race. And also, I think we are at a juncture where we need to, if not for us, at least for the next generation, acknowledge the fact that while AI will not take your jobs, but someone who knows how to use AI definitely will. So, children today can't be. So, I was speaking to some teachers in DPS International in Gurgaon, and the first thing that they said that, okay, so this ChatGPT, how do we check for plagiarism? Because every child today is getting assignments done through ChatGPT. My question to them was that, why do you want to stop them from using ChatGPT? Why are you not encouraging them to use ChatGPT? Because today, if you are not teaching yourself and your kids how to use this, you are doing a disservice. You really need to get them to learn all of this and adopt this as soon and as early as possible. And coming to intelligence, I really love this Calvin and Hobbes cartoon, which says that sometimes I think the surest sign that intelligent life exists elsewhere in the universe is that none of it has tried to contact us. Human race, and that's Bill Watterson's dig at what is intelligence, forget artificial. But anyway, so I would like to keep this as interactive as possible. Please feel free to stop me if you don't understand something, and I would really like that. There's going to be some essential boring stuff that we have to go through, but I will, like I said, we will keep it as simple as possible. Just bear with me for the next maybe about 15-20 minutes, after which I will show you some interactive demos that you can have a look at and please feel free to stop me. So, if nothing else, if you just remember this, what you see right in the middle, that should be enough. So we have artificial intelligence, which is a discipline. Within artificial intelligence, we have machine learning, and within machine learning, there are different types of learning, and deep learning is one of them. Why are we talking about deep learning? Because we are going to get into, when we say generative AI is basically a chat GPT which is able to generate stuff for you. That all comes from deep learning. Now, machine learning as such has, like I said, different kinds of things: supervised learning, unsupervised learning, reinforcement learning, and so on. And I will just very briefly show you something which I think I can. So, if you really look at artificial intelligence, I think artificial intelligence is at its core and essentially pretty dumb, unless you tell it what to do, unless you train it what to do. So, even you can do a job what artificial intelligence is doing for you, but artificial intelligence can do it way quicker and way smarter. So, for example, I'm just going to show you something here. This is the current location of all the ships in the world. This is all, these are heat maps, and if I just, let's say, zoom on to Mumbai, you'll see, if it loads, this blue bar if it loads, then I shall be able to show you.
Wi-Fi is low here?
This is 4G.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay, so so if you can see that all these are locations of present ships in outside Mumbai, and I can hover on it and get some information on it, and I can click on it and get some more information on it. But for example, how the Navy uses this particular tool. So the Navy's job is to look at, show me all the ships that are currently reporting the destination as India, and I want to know which are the risky ones, so that I can then take a call. So if I was a human being, I could look at all these thousands and thousands of ships, and then look at this, and I have all the data on this ship. I can look at, okay, it went to Iran, which is sanctioned, or it did a coast deviation, or it did a dark activity, or whatever. These are all certain attributes of that vessel which make it risky or not. But instead, I can use supervised learning, where I can just go and say, okay, show me only the highly risky vessels which are reporting their destination as India. Okay, just a simple query like this, and we want to look at active vessels, and when I search, I should be able to get, these are the 78 vessels right now as we speak, which are extremely risky, and they are headed to India. So if I just click on one of them, so the Kailash, and if I click on it, I can get further information on why is this considered risky. Okay, so it is considered risky because it has done some ID and location manipulation, it has changed its identity 5 times, it has an irregular business structure as far as its ownership is concerned, it has conducted a dark activity. So all this information is in any case available, but for you to really now sift through all these thousands and thousands of ships to really come to that conclusion, it's virtually impossible. But you can use AI through supervised learning to get something like this. Okay. For unsupervised learning, I can. Okay. I would just say, just kind of keep this a little confidential because this is for the Navy. But so for example, the Navy has a lot of equipment fitted on board. Let's say a radar. Now, I don't know when something goes wrong on board that ship as far as this radar is concerned. I need to replace that part. So I put a demand for that, and I get that new part, and through WESEE over here in Vizag. And there are, for example, MF Star is a radar, and I want to look at it is fitted on 3 ships, Chennai, Kochi and Kolkata. What I can do, which is part of the unsupervised learning, is something like network analysis. Now, these 3 are ships. You know, if I zoom in, you can see this is Kolkata, this is Chennai, and this is Kochi. And what you see here, these blue dots are the ones, the items that have gone bad on them. And if you see the black line, the thicker the line, the more that part has gone bad. So if you look at this TRG, this has been demanded a lot by all 3 of them. So I don't have an end goal when I do unsupervised learning, but I let the data speak to me. Okay, so I can just look at all of this and say, okay, there is a common item called TRG, which is fitted on board all 3 vessels, and this is the one that goes bad a lot because I see, this black line is really, really thick. Yeah. So this is some kind of unsupervised learning. That's pretty much it. Getting back to our presentation, I'm not going to get into reinforcement learning, but let's look at deep learning now. So again, just to summarize, we're looking at these 3 concentric circles: artificial intelligence, which is the overarching umbrella under which we have machine learning, under which we have deep learning. And deep learning is basically possible because of something known as artificial neural networks. Neural networks are nothing but, essentially, if you look at how the brain works, and I'm sure Rekha, you know that quite well. So when we look at something and we say, okay, this is a phone. When a child looks at it, it doesn't know it's a phone. It just looks at it as an object. It has some shape, some lines, whatever, and processes it, and forms some kind of a network within the brain, which can be changed also through neuroplasticity and stuff like that. But essentially, an artificial neural network is something like this. You have an input layer, so you can very roughly look at it as our senses. We are seeing, we are hearing, we are touching, feeling something, whatever. And this information in turn is passed to other layers, and there could be multiple layers, and that's what makes the neural network deep. When you have multiple layers like this, that is what a deep learning is all about. And this in turn leads to generative AI, which is part of deep learning, and also we have large language models, which is what ChatGPT is. So LLM is a large language model, which is nothing but part of a deep learning model. Yeah. Is this okay so far? Yeah. All right. Great. Forget this. Not important. Now, as far as so if you really look at how things have evolved, anyone who's programmed here before? Any programming? So if you look at traditional programming, you had probably a class. So for example, cat. Cat is a class which has certain attributes. It's an animal, 4 legs, 2 ears, 2 eyes, 1 tail, fur, legs, yarn, catnip, whatever. This was traditional programming. Then we came into neural networks, where we said, okay, this is a cat, this is a dog, or this is not a cat. And the neural network looked at it and said, okay, it has a shape like this, blah, blah, blah. I don't care how the neural network is working, it's a black box for me. I give it an input and I tell it that this is a cat. So the next time you see something like this, please understand what this is and take it from there. Okay? Then now we are at a stage where we say that, you know what, here are books which contain everything about cats, read it, and now you tell me what's a cat. Okay? So this is where the generation of new content is happening. Okay?
Can you repeat that again?
So today we are at a stage where we are saying that I don't care about doing this job myself, but I say that okay, here is a book which contains all the information on cats, and I can give you multiple books. You, as the computer program or a model or whatever you want to call it, please read these books and then answer the questions I have, which is what a ChatGPT is. So you say that okay, these are the books, read it, now tell me what is a cat. As simple as that. That is all possible because of neural networks and the power of computing power that is available today and the amount of data that is available today which can be used.
As we go along, other than generative AI, would you be explaining any other AI apart from generative AI?
Yes, so when we say, like I said, AI has machine learning, right? So machine learning also has supervised learning, unsupervised learning, deep learning. So supervised learning was what I was showing you about the ships and identifying what is risky, what is not risky. Unsupervised is when I am looking at all this data where demands for a particular item are being made. I don't know what is going to emerge out of that. So that is unsupervised learning. Or even any kind of clustering. So for example, when we were trying to identify ships that were risky, what were we doing? We were looking at, okay, this is a tanker. The length could be between 150 to 200 meters. The draft is so and so. The flag is this, and there are certain attributes. Now, every ship that is displaying a similar attribute is part of one cluster. But now, let's say I am a tanker, but I'm, for the sake of this, I'm 3,000 meters long. Now, that's an anomaly. So I'm not going to fit into any group of common people. So I'm an outlier. And that's why I'll be very skeptical about who are you and what are you doing. Or you're flying between place A and place B. That's the regular route that you do. But now suddenly you're doing something else. So that is unsupervised learning, where I'm just clustering people together because of the commonalities. But when they don't have any common attribute, then I'm kind of but I don't have like an end goal in mind when I'm looking at it. That's unsupervised. And deep learning is what artificial neural networks are and what ChatGPT is today.
So this is an example of deep learning.
Yes.
Giving inputs and getting some kind of.
Yes. You're training that network to do that, and you see when it comes to training, I'll just show you some stuff. And okay, too much of text. Generative models are basically two types. So you have language models, which is what ChatGPT is, and it is doing nothing but predicting the next word. That's it. Nothing more than that. We'll see how it kind of generates the rest of it. But at its core, it is, so if I say, I am feeling dash. Now it is just going to predict what is the next word. So it could be sleepy, tired, whatever, it just does that.
That's what Google also does.
Sorry?
That's what Google does also.
Yeah, when you're searching and it kind of tells you. So at its heart, a text model or a language model is just this. But it can be tuned for different things, which we will see how we can do that. And similarly, we have image models which take in text and they generate an image for you. So you have something known as stable diffusion and what Midjourney and all these other platforms use. So as far as text is concerned, you can get output as text, output as image, output as audio. There's a very nice app called Suno. Has anyone used it? Suno? Suno.ai. So today you can write stuff that, okay, write me a song about mechatronics lab at AU. And it will actually compose a song for you on mechatronics. And like you get 2 minutes of the clip going for you, and you can actually use that. So you write text and you get audio. You get, I've never used this part, but I believe you can also play decision-making games with text. And there's other stuff where we have image. So you take a picture, give it to the model, and then it analyzes the picture for you and generates. So for example, I use it for trading forex. So I take candlestick charts and I take a daily, a 4-hour, a 1 hour, and a 15-minute snapshot. I give it to a GPT that I've trained, and I say that, okay, what should I do? Should I go long? Should I go short? What should I do? And it's able to do that. So that's, give it an image and it generates text for you. Give it an image, it can make an image for you, or it can generate videos for you. Sora is something that's come out now, which is great, but it's yeah. I think we're still miles away from getting something that's more believable, because especially hands and all.
The eyes also.
True.
Yeah.
But if you look at, and this is a landscape that is only evolving every day, and there's a lot that you can do with these kind of models. So as far as text is concerned, marketing, sales, support, general writing, note taking, coding today, you have Devin and all these other agents that can code themselves. Image generation, there's DALI, Midjourney,
Yeah.
Stable Diffusion, Comfy UI. Speech, video, 3D. There's a lot of robotic process automation that can happen, and I'll show you some part of it. It's not really robotic process, but some parts I'll show you how we can do things. So coming to LLMs or large language models, so they can be pre-trained and then fine-tuned. What do I mean by that is this. So how do you train a dog? There's some basic things that you teach a dog, right? What do you teach?
Sit, stand, stand.
Exactly. Sit, come, down, stay.
Stay.
Right? But if you want it to be now a dog which can, be a police dog or a guide dog or a hunting dog, then there's specialized training for that. Right? So similarly, all language models at their core are able to do some basic stuff. So you will have every language model can do text classification, question answering, document summarization, text generation. Every language model. So you have a GPT-4, you have Claude, you have whatever. They can all do this. But and especially today because you also have a lot of open source models that you can download. They're big, but you can download and you can then fine tune it to your requirement. So if you have a requirement for, say, let's say in the retail sector or finance, or you want to train it only on your stuff. You don't want it to be, generic in nature and whatever, but I just want it to be, so for example, in the Navy has a lot of their own, documents. They have troubleshooting guides for systems that are fitted on board. So you can now have a really powerful language model which is fine-tuned to rectify problems on the super rapid gun mount. Okay, for a radar system or whatever. But it's tuned only for that. It will not work for some other system, but it will work for whatever you have. So that's the beauty of all these companies that have these huge models that they've trained for you. You can download them and fine tune it for your specific purpose. Okay. All this is fine. Sorry. LLM architecture sounds very ominous, but it's not. So if you look at this word apple and you look at this grid over here, where will you place this word? How many of you will place it at A?
Yeah, that's what it is.
A.
At C.
Maybe at C.
C.
At C. How many for C? Why C?
Fruits.
Category of
Category of fruits.
Okay. Great.
just
Sorry, yeah, you could have a Apple logo.
yeah.
So maybe somebody could I don't have computer, but it could also be A because of the shape, which is round, so something like that. But essentially, what does a language model do? It takes every word, or sometimes sentences, sometimes even paragraphs, and it breaks it down into numbers. So if I place Apple over here, what are the coordinates of C? Well, on the x-axis we have 5, on the y-axis we have 5. So Apple is represented by two numbers, 5, 5, right? Now every language model, so for example GPT-4 has a context, I forget, but it's about 3,000 odd numbers. So every word is represented by 3,000 numbers in different dimensions. Right now we are only seeing X and Y, but they could be different dimensions. So for example over here, if you look at the word cow, where will you put cow? A, B or C?
A.
A?
C.
C.
C?
Calf and cow, puppy, dog.
Yeah, dog and puppy, calf and cow.
Why? Because the dog is the whatever
Larger word.
larger version of the puppy, so cow would be the larger version of it. So that's in one axis, but we could also look at this. A calf is bigger than a puppy. A cow is bigger than a dog.
Yes.
So that's two ways of looking at the same thing.
Yes.
So these are just two dimensions, but you could have 3, 4, 5, 6. Now imagine, I can't, but let's say 3,000 different dimensions, and each word is being represented by this. So what happens in a large language model is that, so not only numbers, and they're called embeddings is nothing but a fancy word for a large vector of numbers, a large list of numbers which is representing every word. Or it could be every sentence also. Hello, how are you? So there are all these huge list of numbers representing hello, how are you? So how does a large language model predict? So it says that, so if I say hello, how are you? So the first thing what will happen is that you say hello, how are you is converted into this number. Then it goes to its repository of all the words and sentences that exist. And it says, okay, this is most similar to which list of numbers. So it does, it's called a similarity matching. Sorry? Comparison. It's called cosine similarity, but whatever. So it does some kind of a dot product, something. But it essentially compares how similar is this list of numbers with all these other numbers, and then they say, oh, this is the most similar. So this is what I will output. It doesn't care what it is. For a model, it is nothing but numbers. And therefore, everything depends on the training, right? So that's what happens. So if you look at, any large language model and you say, once upon a time there was a unicorn, it will complete it by saying, okay, that lived in a magical forest. If you say, what is the capital of France? It's not going to say Paris. It will not. If it has not been tuned in a certain manner, it will say, okay, this is a question, what is something similar to this? It will say, what is France's largest city? Or what is France's population? It's not going to say Paris. Remember this. But it can be told to output the capital of France is Paris by doing something called reinforcement learning, with human feedback, and all this is what a ChatGPT is already doing for you. You don't have to worry about it. So prompt engineering, today you have, people are making a killing selling, people are making a killing becoming prompt engineers, and crazy kind of salaries people are getting. Today I have interns whom I, when I train them to, and they're all computer scientists, computer science students. So they're given a task, okay, you have to write this. So I don't look at the code, but I tell them that I want to look at the prompt you wrote to generate the code. And let's say the code was generated and you put it and you ran it, there were some errors. I don't want you to correct it there. Correct it here. And then generate that again. And then try it. It may not work the first time, but that's the skill that you need. So prompt engineering without a doubt is what is needed. And jobs for sure are going to grow. Our children will be, if they continue to do what they're doing at the moment, I don't want to sound, ring some alarm bells over here, but for sure, this is not going to land them great jobs over there. They need to know this. Okay? So, sorry?
Sorry. Generally, he's doing his prompt engineering. So.
Nice. And again, prompt engineering is something that is changing every day. So, for example, this is a paper which came out with 26 different principles of prompt engineering. Okay, this paper is available online. You can have a look at it. But it says integrate the intended audience, employ affirmative directives such as do, think step by step, which is also known as chain of thought prompting and some fancy words. Use output primers, use delimiters. So within the paper, of course, it explains you what it is, and I'll show you some other resources which are very helpful. And you will also see stuff like, I'm not going to go through all of this. You can definitely see this. I'll share this presentation. But stuff like, I'm going to tip X amount of dollars for a better solution. You actually write that to the ChatGPT and you see how well it responds. I use stuff like my life depends on this. I will die if you don't do it. And then it actually, it's really nice. You see the difference it makes. I know it sounds very funny, but it's amazing.
So it responds to the emotion.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And different models. So we only know ChatGPT, but today there is, Anthropic has come out with something called Claude, and there's Bing, and they have their own. Google has its own. There's so many. But all of them have different kinds of. But if you look at it, most of them have been trained on the same data. The training as such might be a little different, but essentially all these things work really well. So you tell them appeal to the good senses and sensibilities of the LLM and it will really work well for you. And how you write the prompt makes a lot of difference. I'll show you some
Can you
prompts.
go like in the last statement, add and move to
Sorry?
what is that last
I'm going
statement?
to tip $1.
I'm going to tip, let's say, $500,000 for a better solution. You say that. And I've experimented with, I'll tip you $10 vis-a-vis $500,000. It responds better to $500,000. I'm not joking. What do they say? Dabbu Kawali, you know, that's the bottom line.
So it responds to emotional cues also.
It does. It does. It really does. So you know, you see stuff like you will be penalized. You see, your task is you must. You put must in capital, must in small, but vis-a-vis must in caps. It makes a lot of difference.
So which means that someone who made ChatGPT, they put in these things that will
No.
respond better to
So-
emotional cues. Is
So
it-
OpenAI has obviously not revealed how they've done it, but
Yes.
if you really look at it, it has been trained on almost the entire internet that is existing till 2023.
Yes.
And if you look at books and articles and whatever, these are the things that
Come on.
come up. You know, so the model automatically knows that when somebody is saying that my life depends on it,
The response will be more energetic.
it will be more, you know, yeah, something like that. So this is a very well-researched paper. It came out in Feb this year, where I'll share this link, this one over here.
Yeah.
It's really nice, and you know, if you just read through all of this, it's fantastic. But prompt engineering is what is really needed. Okay. I will show you what I use. So typically, I have format that I use. I give it a mission. What is the mission of this thing? It's slightly military and naval in nature, but this works well for me. You give it a context. What is the, in fact, what I can do is, this was the last slide in any case. I use something called Notion, and this is my, Notion is a software which is used for making notes. It's just like how we used to have Evernote and OneNote, so something like that.
Notion is an app, note-taking app.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can have, you know, all your different whatever you do, and it's all here. So anyway, so this is like a custom instruction. This is the template I follow. So I give it a mission where I define very clearly what is the outcome or the goal that is needed. I don't describe the procedure here. Then I give it some context. For example, I have, you will be interested in this. I have a ChatGPT which is trained on God Talks with Arjun, like the 2 volumes of Paramahansa Yogananda's 2 volumes, and the Yoga Sutras. So these 3 volumes are given and it's trained on this, and it takes on the persona of Paramahansa Yogananda, and then it answers questions. I'll show it to you if time permits. Rules, you define what are the boundaries and constraints. You give it very, very specific instructions. Do X, Y, Z, anticipate, and why. What is going to be the output format? Okay. So for example, if I want to use that output in say some computer code that I'm writing, then I need it in something called JSON or whatever. But you can specify exactly what you want in what format. Okay. So I'll show you some personas that I have created. Let's see. Maybe lesson plan. This is okay. So this is for for this IB board teachers. So they wanted to. We have a small app for them where they can generate lesson plans or whatever they want. So you say, okay, your mission is to generate a comprehensive lesson plan for a whatever. This is what the person will write. It's a placeholder in learning basis, targeting students in grade so and so in accordance to Gagne's 9 events of construction. I had absolutely no idea what are Gagne's 9 events of construction, but I again asked ChatGPT, how should I make a lesson plan? So it told me how to do it, which I used to create this. This is the prompt that is used. So context, the lesson plan is meant for educators who aim to follow blah blah blah. You have a planning stage, structured lesson plan. These are the rules. The lesson plan must align with Gagne's 9 events. The lesson plan should cater to students in specified grade. Additional instructions are provided. Incorporate them appropriately. then what are the instructions, what is the expected input, what is the output format. So there are very, very precise and concise instructions that you give to the LLM, and it works accordingly. So for example, this is the one trained on the Gita. So your aim is to provide very clear and elaborate explanations and answer to a user's query on virtually any subject related to life questions, spirituality, Gita. Context is you've got God talks with Arjun. This is the book available. You have the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. The user will ask you some questions. Wherever applicable, please use the knowledge base that has been uploaded only while answering questions. So I don't want you to look here and there and then answer whatever, but this is what.
Has it ever happened that ChatGPT said, I don't know anything about this? Has it ever happened like that? Or it says, I'll get back to you?
So it all depends. So if you say that please do not hallucinate. So hallucinate is when the GPT starts making up responses. So you tell it, please don't do that.
Oh.
Yeah. I tried it actually. So I mean, we can ask them like, if you don't know, say no. Then it will say no. Else it will say like random answers.
Yeah. So I'm surprised I'm not really but if you look at
there were many instances when I had no answer, basically because they didn't know, they didn't have any information. Like I would ask something about, let's say, Dr. Hema's business in Visakhapatnam. I can't find anything online about Dr. Hema's business in
She should have an
Visakhapatnam.
account.
Right. I mean, if she's available online, if anything is online about her, then ChatGPT will dig information.
But the 4 is much smarter.
I guess so.
Yeah.
But if you don't choose
So-
just God for it now, you have an answer.
Dheeraj, before you go to the next point,
yeah.
so I think if you can just in two sentences, there is a difference between a chat GPT and a search engine like Google. I think a lot of people get confused between these two.
Yeah. So if you look at a search engine is something. So what is the internet? Internet is basically a lot of computers connected together. A search engine like Google goes and crawls web pages on, let's say, a daily basis. The header is saying whatever, and it's gathering all this information, and it has a really very, very fast algorithm called page rank, so that when you search, it is able to tell you, okay, this is the most valid information lying in this server, this is lying here, this is lying here. That is a search engine. ChatGPT is a content generator, which has been trained on some data up to a certain time period. It does not have things beyond that, right? But having said that, you can now give it the ability to browse. And you say that, so for example, everyone has this dream, right, of playing Dream 11, which I do. And I look at these different teams, and I make teams. At least I used to in the previous IPL. I used to make my teams, and I had a chat GPT, a custom GPT, where I would tell it that, okay, today's match is between RCB and DC, and I want you to, the match is being played at wherever, Firozshah Kotla, and please go, sorry, what is it called these days? It's not Kotla, it's
Arun Jaitley.
Yeah. So now you go there. Now I have told it that you find out what are the bowling conditions. Should I have spinners in my team? Should I? What will it? So now it has the ability to use Bing as a search engine. It goes, sees what are the last matches played, so and so, and then it says, okay, now because it is going to support spin, so now please make a team which comprises of, and it gives you the actual name of players. So it can browse and do that. But essentially, a chat GPT is not something that can search for you natively. It can only generate content for you. But you have stuff like, has anyone heard of Perplexity?
Yes.
Perplexity is really nice. So you can, just tell me some random thing.
Okay, before I have a question, for example, I have used ChatGPT to fine-tune my resume. then like Divakar, he wants to know who I am. He types who is Dr. Hema Edavani. So do you think this information is used
No.
and presented to?
No, because when you have fine-tuned your resume, where is this resume lying? It's on your local machine.
Yeah.
It is not uploaded somewhere, right?
No. I've just asked it to find you and it has done and given it to you.
So if now let's say you upload this resume to a LinkedIn or to whichever site, which is crawlable by a Google,
Okay.
only then it will be able to pick this up. If it is lying on your machine,
But when she's asking ChatGPT to fine tune the resume, she has to upload the resume to
On the ChatGPT.
yes,
Yeah, I've
It
given a
becomes
basic draft.
database. It becomes
no,
a
it can generate also, and it can also you give your existing resume and it will make whatever
No.
changes you want.
So once she uploaded the resume to ChatGPT, ChatGPT has that
in
on
its
its
database.
In its database, yes, but that database is not crawlable.
I see.
It's not crawlable by Google, no. It is used by the way, if you read the fine print, when you use ChatGPT, the terms and conditions, they very clearly state that I am going to use your data to further train my own.
Yes.
I'm not going to give it to somebody else, but I am going to use your data to further.
Plus ChatGPT is closed, right? It's a closed system.
It's a closed.
So how can Google get it?
Yeah.
So when I asked
Maybe Llama model?
No, so Llama models, I'm not very sure, but it will be definitely mentioned in the terms and conditions what they will do with the data that you upload.
So when I ask ChatGPT, I want to know about Dr. Hema, it is not going to use its own database that has a resume and tell me anything about her.
If she's registered, if she's logged in, she's registered.
Registered means? You need to say I have uploaded
Probably
it
could
some public
feed-
Yeah.
platform like LinkedIn or something, then it would pick up.
Yeah.
It's still lying in my system.
See, essentially, whatever is crawlable by Google, if your resume is in a place which is crawlable, then it will be visible. But otherwise,
But there's already an existing resume with some social platform like LinkedIn. I have fine-tuned for my own necessity and it's still lying in my laptop.
so that will not be.
The fine-tuned one will not be available.
Yeah,
What is
whatever is
already there
available on
in
the
the
public platforms, it is.
Alternatively, if two people are using ChatGPT and one has used ChatGPT for something, taking forward that point, another person is asking about this person, will ChatGPT use its internal database to provide the answer?
Which will not be like specific to Dr. Hema, but it would be, let's say, now I've seen that, I'm sorry, I don't know exactly what to do, but let's say Dr. Hema is doing A, B, C, D, E.
Yes.
And based on that, the resume was doing.
Yes.
Now, ChatGPT would know that tomorrow, if I am also a doctor who's in a similar thing, then probably this information can be provided because this, whatever I have now updated is again broken down into those numbers,
Yes.
and these numbers will be matched with when you give a prompt. So probably this new information will
But
come.
that was not my question. My question was, if I were to use ChatGPT and say, what business does Dr. Hema do?
No.
Will it take from its own internal database and say she's doing this?
No, unless the person has, let's say, if you and it has sometimes these. So if you ask about real person, or if you say generate an image of so and so, or those kind of things, it says I can't do that for existing people.
I see.
But if you look at all these open source models, and today, for example, just 3-4 days back, there is this new Microsoft model called PHI-3, which is supposed to be better than GPT-4. But when they released this model, there is a site called Hugging Face on which they release these models. The day it was released, same day it was taken out. Why? Because they forgot to do the clearance for a particular test for, so that it is not safe for work kind of thing.
Oh, MSFW.
Yeah, those kind of things. So they immediately took it down. But there are a lot of other places where you can. So, for example, this model was already available on Hugging Face. A lot of people uploaded like that also. So you get uncensored versions where you can prompt it and say, how do I do meth, or how do I make a bomb, or whatever.
So these will probably be available on the dark web or something.
They are available on Hugging Face. They are available on, I won't show it here, but there is a site called, so like it or not, more than 60-70% of the internet is pornography. And these models are fantastic at generating pornography. And it's there. Like, it's, you can download it, you can use stable diffusion, comfy UI and generate your own pornography if you want, which people are doing, by the way. So, yeah.
Is there, can I ask a question or are we?
Yeah, please, Rekha.
Okay, if one of my students uses ChatGPT to produce the seminar or whatever, can I check and see if he's used ChatGPT? Okay.
Answering whatever assignments. Can I check for 6 days?
Has he done use ChatGPT? Not no.
Sorry, I just pressed it. So it says based on the answer, here is the answer. Yes, teachers can detect if students have used ChatGPT. So it says tools like these can analyze, checking for inconsistencies. And what I really like about Perplexity is the fact that, okay, so it gives you all these answers, and then there are some related stuff, which helps you to kind of build up the whole thing further and further, and you can, go down the rabbit hole. And what are some AI content checkers that can detect plagiarism? That's the next logical question. So I click on that, and it will show me. There you go.
So that's
Is there any way that we make people not to know that we have used ChatGPT to generate some
Yes. Absolutely. So.
Got it correct.
But why would it be that? Today everybody should use that.
No, but in case we are not very keen that
In
the
fact,
other person.
if somebody doesn't use ChatGPT, should cancel.
Ask the ChatGPT to simplify it, like in,
It is something everyone should use.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you.
Simple English.
So you can,
We can remove your MS cross classes.
yeah.
Upstairs some place. 40 years, 30 years ago.
So,
MS cross
so
classes.
there is a GPT which is called, I forget what it is, but it's remove AI plagiarism.
Okay.
Okay. So it can, you put in whatever text, it will remove whatever you don't want it to have. So this is an existing. So if within ChatGPT you have custom GPTs available. This is a GPT store where all these different types of GPTs are there, and this is one that you can use. Remove AI plagiarism. And if I, let's say, I just go to let's say I copy some text like this. Prompt engineering is an empirical science that blah blah blah. I go here and where did it go? And I just paste it here. So it takes this and now it will rewrite. See?
Can we get a codes written here?
Sorry?
This is very interesting.
What?
Can we get a codes written here and then submit it in the in our assignments and then not get caught?
Yeah.
It's a graded ones.
Absolutely. So remove AI plagiarism is an existing GPT that you use to remove whatever.
Just to not get caught,
Yeah.
and tweak
That's
a
a
little,
right question.
maybe use. Yeah, but then, maybe I'll try this.
This is kind of making me uncomfortable as a faculty member.
Yeah, but the point is we need to be comfortable with the fact that what we are giving today, the assignments, they need to change. They really need to change.
Right.
We need to be in a space where we can encourage children to use ChatGPT.
Right.
And use that. So the assignments need to be, what will they be? I don't know. I really don't know.
Yes, I agree with you.
But you need to encourage them to use this. And why the hell not?
Yes.
I remember when the scientific calculator came out, my father could digest the fact that we used log tables. He used a slide rule when he was doing his engineering, he said, you guys are, what is this? So what does this mean? What? And he said, what is 17 times 13? How the hell do I know and why should I care? I have 17x 13 equal to 5 seconds. I have the answer.
Yes.
Similarly, students today, why should I be writing some essay on some no? I should be. I'll show you. When I was speaking to these teachers, I asked ChatGPT only to generate jobs of the future. What will they be? Where human beings are doing the job, because tomorrow if every job is going, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
And then if you follow people like Dave Shapiro, who has a very utopian view of the world and what's going to happen, he's brilliant, and he says that we reach a stage where the government, which is run by an AI president, takes care of the whole thing. You have free living, you have free housing, you have free this thing, everything's free. And then he's got this whole very postmodernism kind of look to what society would be like, and it's pretty interesting, very trippy but nice. So anyway, this is one. I wanted to show a few demos, if that's okay. This is good. This is a YouTuber called Dave Shapiro. Dave Shapiro. He's slightly trippy. Very. But
Basically, he's smoked up in life.
yeah, something. But he's written a few books. He takes on Elon Musk like, okay, come on.
What is the major difference between perplexity and
Yeah, so Perplexity is a search engine powered by a large language model. So it is able to, so if we were here.
ChatGPT.
Sorry?
Which is also ChatGPT.
ChatGPT today, because it has Bing built into it.
Yeah.
But essentially, a large language model is only generating some content for it. On its own, it can't do something. But I'll show you some demos here where we are using it for a lot of things. I have time permitting 3 short demos that I want to show you, if that's okay. Yeah? But I think you should, I hope you like it. This is, so what I'll do is I will record something. I can record it on my phone, I can record it here. I will put this in my Google Drive in some folder. And as soon as that happens, there is another service which will take my voice, take it to OpenAI, convert it into text, and then use this text in ChatGPT to get some further information on it, and then push it to my Notion, and it comes out as a nice little script. Okay, so we'll do that. Anything that you'd like me to speak about, or anything?
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
When you sign up for ChatGPT or sign up for Perplexity, does it keep a track of all the prompts that you made?
Yes, it does.
It
does.
It does.
When is the best time to make mango pickle?
Alright. So
No, sir. Yeah.
Very relevant, right?
Yeah.
yeah. So right now the prompt that I am given is not going to like answer a query. This something will do.
Yeah,
Okay, so I'm going to just record it now, and let's say, as Mono was saying, where is the record button? Just a second.
That's what you should ask the ChatGPT.
Okay. I am really fond of mangoes, and mango season is here, but I wanted to know what is the best time to make mango pickle in Visakhapatnam. Okay. Why is this not? Oh. Okay, let's do this again because. Yeah. Just 1 second. I'll just make a new recording. Anything you want to?
Same.
No, he's asking about taste. What taste do you?
The best ingredients to
Spicy.
Spicy.
You won't do all that. He tries something else. He'll remember about something else. This is something he's created for himself.
Okay, so I'm going to say this again. I'm really fond of mangoes, and right now is mango season, but I wanted to know what is the best time to make mango pickle in Visakhapatnam. Okay, I'm going to call this mango pickle. Okay, and I am going to upload this. I'll copy it. I will put it in my downloads. I shall go to my. So in my drive, I have a folder called audio uploads. Okay, I am going to upload this file there. mangopickle.m4a. Okay, so now this file is being uploaded. If the internet supports, yes, it's done. Okay, so we have. Where is it? Has it come?
Yeah, there. Mango pickle is there. Go everybody. You're off mic.
Oh, right. Mango pickle. Yeah. So mango pickle is here. Now what will happen is, this is a audio recording, okay, and this will go to OpenAI. It will get converted, and it will come to my. It will come to my. So I have this folder here called audio. And over here we get a new one which will be about mango pickle very shortly. There we go. Mango pickle presentation inquiry. This has come now. Now it says this is the summary. The speaker expresses fondness for mangoes and interest in making mango pickle. They are questioning about the optimal time to create mango pickle in Visakhapatnam. I am really fond of mango. This is a transcript, and right now is mango season, but I wanted to know what is the best time to make mango pickle in Python. Main point: speaker likes mangoes. Currently mango season. Speaker is curious. Whatever. If there were some references, citation, it will come. Potential action item: research on the best time to make mango pickle. Follow-up questions: what type of mango pickle does the speaker want to make? What particular factors is the speaker considering? Summary: nothing found for this. Related topic: mango cultivation and season in Vizag. Pickle making time, regional cuisine, food practices. Okay. So it gives me, and this is all a prompt that is written, where I said that okay, whatever I spoke, use that text into this, make this, and it also does a calculation of how much it costs to make this. So it's about point.
No. So just for who are listening, so you can either explain why the cost has come up, that there was that chat API cost.
Yeah, so we have APIs. APIs are basically, so currently you have ChatGPT where you write something and it gives you an answer. In the backend, when you write something and press enter, it uses something known as an API, which sends your text to ChatGPT and to GPT-4, which is the model, and that generates something which is shown to you. We are doing something similar over here, where we are using different APIs. So first API is which takes the audio that I spoke, takes that audio, sends it to GPT-4, converts it into text. That is one cost. Then you have another cost where this text that has come is part of a bigger prompt that has been written, and it goes there, and this is then sent, and it comes back. So therefore you have a transcription cost, you have a chat cost, and this is the total cost of what I just spoke.
Charging this amount.
Who's paying for this?
I have.
So
I
you want
already paid for it.
but you want to show that the program from where it goes from your drive.
Yeah.
Spoken, you upload it into your Google Drive. From Google Drive, where does it go?
I'll show you. I'll show you
And
that.
why is cost that way?
I'll show that to you, and I'll show you something slightly better than that. So there is a service called Pipedream, and Pipedream is the one that is doing all of this for me. This will be a little complicated, so I don't want to scare you all over here. But you know, there is basically a trigger that happens when anything comes into my Google Drive in a folder called Audio Uploads. This is downloaded and then sent to OpenAI. Then it comes back. It is part of that prompt. But I'll show you something simpler to understand, something very similar. And then it sends it to. So there are 3 steps involved, and then it sends it to my Notion, where you saw it nicely formatted and it came out. Okay. So forget this. there is a company that we are helping. They're based in Siliguri and they look at marketing. So they offer this team which goes on to LinkedIn, looks at different companies, looks at who's the contact person, gets the name, the designation, email ID, and then they send one Thagawa email to them, dear sir/madam, we are offering our services for training in blah blah blah, and we'll be happy to do this. Obviously, out of 10,000 mails like this, maybe one converts because everyone puts it in their spam. So rather than doing that, what we have done is, there is another service called Zapier. Sorry? So I'll show this one. This will probably be a little easier to understand. But first I'll show you what happened. So this is the company. This is what we've told them, that you please look at which company, whom did you contact, what was the designation. Scott Potter is the regional training manager. This is his email ID and he belongs to a company called Cushman and Wakefield. Okay. So we just pick up some random company here. Let's say this one, and I will show you what happens. So I take this. I'm copying it. I have a separate Google Sheet, and as soon as a new row is added here, and I'll just make a little change because sometimes it doesn't trigger. So now I have this new row that I've added. There's some company called Drinker, Biddle and Reed LLP, Learning and Development Technical Training Manager, who goes by the name of Kimberly Foley, and this is the email address. Now, as soon as this new information is added, what has happened? So I have something, as soon as a new row, let's just edit this so that we can see what is going on. So we say, right, in that, within leads there is this worksheet 1, okay, we're saying, where did it go? The trigger is on any column, any new thing is added, it will trigger something. What is the trigger something? That is this. Okay, let's just continue. So, then what it will do is, go to the next one. The next step is, I wanted to write an email. But I don't want it to write an email just like that. I have now given it my ChatGPT credentials, my API key and all of that. And the action that I wanted to do is, this is the prompt. So I say, carry out a, this is the prompt that has been given to it. Carry out a research on the organization as provided in the column called organization. So over here we have this column where this is the organization called Drinker, Biddle and Reed. And then we say, okay, and then try and identify what their training needs could be. Thereafter, draft marketing emails for potential training services with the following considerations. Begin by conducting research on the company or organization to understand the line of business. Don't shoot some random mail just like that. And specific challenges. Use this information to infer their likely training needs. Personalization, address the recipient by their name. Don't do this, dear sir, madam. Understand their needs based on the research. So this is a whole prompt that has been written here. Okay. Show all this in that email of yours. And sign it by Partha Saha, who is the general manager. Blah, 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 blah. So we do this and we continue. And as a final step, we say, I want you to generate this email and put it in my drafts folder. I don't want you to generate it here, then I copy this, no. Put it there. I will see if it is right or wrong. So put it in my drafts folder. So let's go to my drafts.
You can press create.
No. It should have triggered on its own. Sometimes it just takes a little bit of time. So then you see, this has already come here. Can you see this? Customized training solutions for Drinker, Biddle and Reed. Now I have no idea what Drinker, Biddle and but you see this. Customized training solution for Drinker, Biddle. Dear Kimberly Foley, I hope this message finds you well. My name is Partha Saha and I am the general manager. I have taken the opportunity to learn about Drinker, Biddle and Reed. In my research, I have noticed that law firms such as yours, I don't even know when it said LLP, but it's done all this research for me. I noticed that law firms such as yours require ongoing training in the latest legal technology, compliance updates, practice, blah, 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 something. I have no idea. But see, I would love to discuss how we can tailor our training. Thank you. Warm regards. This is such a professional mail. And I have no idea who Kimberly is or what they do. But it's, if I read a mail like this, and this is, very, very pointed, this one also. And it's right there in my draft folder, I just have to press send. It's pretty decent, I think.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so this is,
So these are practical ways of using the software.
absolutely.
Zapier is taking the information and whenever you are sending it to your Google Drive, it's automatically.
So I've given my credentials, I've given my Google Drive, which folder to look at, I've given all of that.
Who has given the prompts?
I have given.
Oh, you have given the
Yeah,
prompts already.
so we saw here, right? So the first step is that whenever there is a new row added, this thing gets triggered. So we saw here, right? New or updated spreadsheet. This is the event that
We
is
need to
happening.
set this all up in the zapier.com.
Yes.
And is this free or do we pay?
Free, free.
Paid.
Dabbu is needed for.
Nothing is free in this world.
Yeah, but it's actually, if you are able to convert much better using something, because right now the problem is that, it's just one standard pointless email that they send to people who put them in the trash or spam. And they will never be able to reach them again because it's spam now. But you look at the quality of the email that has gone from here, starting from the subject line, which will firstly not go to your spam. And then you see a personal connect, oh dear Kimberly, and I feel you Kimberly, and all of that is kind of coming and so emotion. That's what is
It is only,
missing.
it is,
We're using AI to produce emotion. Isn't that ironic?
You also know, right, that we have used AI to generate a personalized.
No, I don't think so. When I look at a mail like this, and you know what? Maybe you have or maybe you haven't, but when I read that and I see that, that they're using the right words, whatever that legal thing is, or this update, that update, and we hear you, we feel you. I say, oh, this is.
Yeah, definitely it's been
My probability of engaging with you goes higher.
conversion is higher. Yeah.
The first thing, if I just see dear sir / madam, I'm not even interested, because you're just checking something and just putting that copy paste and that's not cutting it. But this definitely is cutting it. So something like this.
So if you are using AI to generate emails like that, as a recipient, wouldn't I have a tool to sift through all the emails?
That's what she was saying. But I don't know, whether such tools exist. But you could maybe copy this and say, see this. But if I have that much of time to now, think that, now I'll see whether this is AI generated or not.
No, my AI tool will figure out that it is coming from another AI tool.
Probably it can be done, but I am not aware of anything like this so far. But I'm sure there must be something, or somebody must be thinking like this to counter the AI generated emotions, perhaps.
As he said, it's definitely more impactful when we send a personalized message rather than dear sir.
Sure, I agree.
More probability of he reading the
ChatGPT generate emails or generate text that I usually write for my talk show, and I'm never satisfied. The tone is never right, so I do my own writing. Maybe I'm old style.
You have one about lawyers, right?
Yeah.
Is that also?
So not the lawyer one. I'll show you something else. Black screens look very dangerous, but this is all code right now. But don't worry, I'll just show you what I'm trying to do here. So this is something I wanted to show the lawyer, but this came out yesterday. So yesterday morning at 5:30 for the demo to the Navy, I built this to show them because this was very exciting. So there is a new thing called Crew AI. Crew AI is basically agents which can do stuff for you. So now we have a company, and this is an existing demo that they had on their GitHub, which I just downloaded and just cloned and I ran it there. Now, So they say that okay, this is a company which it provides a service of writing job listings for other companies. Okay, that's what it does. So you are a company, Windward, whatever, you have a requirement for somebody. So it says okay, we will do this. Now how do they do it? They have 3 AI agents. The first agent does a web search, and it has tools to do the web search. We will. There is another agent. These are the different tools. Sorry, website search tool. We have SERP API. SERP API is something which uses Google to search for you. It's an API, and there is another one which can read files on your system. Okay. Now the agents that we have. The first agent is a research agent. What does this agent do? It analyzes the company's website and provides description to extract insights on culture, values, and specific needs. Okay. And it has been told these are the tools available to you. You can do a web search. You can do a SERP search. SERP is the Google wala search. Okay, just think of it like this. So these are the tools available to the research agent. So its job is that okay, when I say this is a company, first go and research what this company is about, what are its values and things like that, which I will use in making the job. Second is the writer. Writer is saying that okay, you will actually write the job description for that company. Use insights from the research analyst to create a detailed, engaging and enticing job posting. These are the tools available to you. You can do web search, you can do SERP, you can do file read on the system. Okay? And the third agent is a review agent. So finally when the writer has written, we want somebody to review that, okay, does it make sense or not? And that is a job defined. It says, okay, your job is to review the job posting for clarity, engagement, grammatical accuracy, alignment with the company values, and refine it to ensure perfection. Fantastic. And the tools are the same 3 tools available. So now let me just run this for you. Okay. It's a little bit of code, but you'll get to see what happens. So we are partners with, like I was telling you, an Israeli company called Windward. Okay. So this is their website, windward.ai, and what they do is we empower your organization with actionable maritime AI, insights tailored to your unique workflows, blah, blah, blah. Something like this. So I'm just going to copy this because this is the information I need to provide you. Okay. So I go here. What is the company description? So I say Windward. What was the empower your organization? So I won't even say that. I just say okay. Windward. Okay, I just paste that as it is. Empower your organization with actionable maritime medicine. So this is the company description, and I say name of the company is Windward. Okay. Next question will ask me what is the company domain, which is the IP, the website address. So windward.ai. Okay, this is the company domain. It needs this to browse this, right? And then I say what are the hiring needs? We need an API developer, Python. I'm just putting just some random stuff like that. What are the specific benefits you offer?
Dental.
Great money. Money is what makes the world go round. Great money, good food, free beer. Yeah, that's about it. So now, hand off. This crew agent executor is now going to take over this whole thing. And it will go. Oh, sorry.
HTTPS actually.
Oh, I did HTTPS. Sorry, sir. Sorry. See, human beings will make mistakes. We'll learn this again. What is the company description? So and so, name of the company. Company is Windward. What is the company domain? I'm just going to copy this and paste it here. What are the hiring needs? We need an API developer, Python. What are the specific benefits? What did we say?
Free beer.
Great money.
Great
money, good food,
money,
free beer.
good food, free beer, and after the good food, you need dental services like you said, right?
But it's still coming HTTPS.
No, it's right. HTTPS. Earlier it was HTTPS.
Oh.
Now, let's go. Fingers crossed. Okay, so now the search is going and searching in this website. Windward.ai. Now I'm trying to figure out what are the company values, this, that. You go through that website, crawl, and try to figure it out. It takes a bit of time, but it will do it. And this was a demo I showed yesterday. Of course, we didn't have the dental and all of that, but it finally comes out with a job posting, something like this. I'm just going to show you here. While it does this, let it do it. We'll see here also.
Is this crawling or scraping?
I'm not sure, but I think it is doing both because there will be multiple pages, so it has to crawl to those and then it scrapes the right stuff.
Is it ethical to do this in both like
I'm not
scraping
sure.
and
I don't think it would be. I don't think any website permits you to scrape like that, but then
We can ask ChatGPT, is it ethical? Will it talk about ethics?
yeah, yeah, it does actually. So now you look at this, it's already started working. So it says Windward homepage, request a demo, ocean fleet visibility. So it's kind of crawling through that web page, it is doing its own thing, and hopefully there will be some job posting that will come up.
Is there not green? Your job posting.
No, so this is, now this agent has come up with the crawling and says, Windward is a company that empowers so and so. Their culture is built on innovation as evidenced by the 15 innovative AI models, proprietary behavioral activities, all this it's doing. It's gone through the website and is doing this. Now the next guy is the writer. So now the writer will entering new claim, tool is search a specific website. I need to understand the company's position within the maritime industry. So first it does a lot of research on this only. You know, different aspects of the company, maybe there will be 2-3 runs of this itself when it knows sufficiently about this company. Then the next guy will actually write that job, this one. And the third will be the guy who will review it. He will see what has been written, check for grammar, and also look at does it comply with the values of the company.
So I'm not a layman, I don't know how to do all this, but I want to do this.
So this is, I don't have a front end right now, but you will have one front end where you will, the 3 questions that were asked, the same will be there, you just write and press one button.
Okay, so that
Yeah.
application
Yeah.
or whatever has to be made.
Yes, sir. This one, yes.
No, I'm just saying because most of us who want to do stuff, right, we're not techies.
Yeah.
We would need to know if I wanted to do X, Y, Z task, how do I go about it or where do I go? Or
Yeah, so obviously this is only for demonstration,
Yeah,
but you will have a front end where you will go to, okay, write jobpost.com, whatever this tool that will make. And when you go there, you'll say what is the company, what is their website, what is.
so is this prompt engineering?
To a little bit of an extent, where you're saying that what is the job, what is the type of job, so they describe a little, that it uses to do it. But if you, I don't want to get too much into the code, but if you look at this, so you see here, so you know these are the inputs that are needed. What is the company description, what is the company domain, hiring needs, and this. So based on this, then it creates these agents, and these agents in turn have these different tasks to carry out. Now, if you look at these, now this is nothing but a prompt you're writing. Use insights from the research analyst to create a detailed, engaging, and enticing job post. I could change this to whatever, you know. So if I have, I wanted to follow a certain format, I could upload that information also over here. that I want my jobs to come up like this.
So somebody will have to create an application to use this for a layman.
Yeah, of course. You don't expect someone to do this.
There has to be a user interface.
Yeah,
A
That is,
GUI.
I mean, also somebody with basic knowledge can do, right?
Yeah,
So right now it is, going through all of this is going to take some time, but once it is done, it should be.
In the meantime, Dhiraj, since we're going to wrap up, so can you tell us about what you were talking about, some lawyer guy?
So that is, Achha, this is one second, it is done. Hopefully now this, so it creates a new thing called job posting, and this is what it has created. We just done here. Powering the maritime thing, join Windward, company overview. At Windward, we utilize the might of the job title, API developer, Python, remote global team, job summary. As an API developer, you spearhead the development of Python, or some collaborating closely with cross-functional teams. You drive project responsibilities, requirements, bachelor's degree in computer science. All this data is generated on it. Benefits, competitive salary. Comprehensive health, dental. See, dental has come. Vision has also come. Some flexibility, more monthly. Array, drink this beer.
Okay, complimentary meals and beers.
Beers and all.
Oh yeah, there.
Very important.
Complimentary meals and beers at our office. They actually have. This might be of interest to you. So when I went there last year, they had rum for me, and at 10:30 in the morning, they said, no, you have to have. Tel Aviv, in their office.
In Tel Aviv.
Yeah. So one old monk, they always take old monk from us. They had old monk from us. You have come to our office, you have to have it. Yes, sir, sorry.
So all the requirements, it's straight from the website to see what similar positions are.
No. Not from the, so from the website it has found out what is the culture and about the company, which it is using here. If you look at Windward, we utilize the might of this. This is what it has scraped the website for, to tell you who we are. After that, all this, whether we need an API developer or there's no job posting for an API developer, we've just given it something. And all this is what it has generated on its own random. Random as it is totally applicable to what you would expect an API developer to do, the skill sets that would be needed. So this is what it is.
So for an API developer, you have to fill levels of expertise.
Yeah.
So if you begin the levels of expertise, would it change the?
Yes. So I just said we are looking for an API developer bracket Python. But if you want to write a little more in terms of Node.js or this or that or something, you can write whatever. That will be used by this tool. Accordingly, I think it will make the requirements accordingly based on what you have written.
My question was because most of the postings will be on the website. Would it actually go through those postings and see what similar questions are required, what the requirements are for those positions?
I am not very sure, but I think it will only look at what you want. Because maybe the job posting is not on the website. Today you want to have this thing and maybe use this to then put it on the website.
You might not have a particular job posting in Python, but if you say Python engineer, all the engineers would have similar qualification required. So but it would be more appropriate if it puts those qualifications into it.
So maybe you can write when you say that please look at the existing job postings and it will do that. It should do that. I haven't tried this, but we can always play around. But this seems like a next cool step because now you have not only that, the lawyer project is.
Nikhil, this is very interesting for me. What is done for some friends is still you have a case tomorrow, so I'm sure some case. I will teach. But he has to read 25 case laws, actual cases, this case happened to bring court.
I don't have that one.
Yeah, but to court. He's meeting a Supreme Court lawyer in
So what we do with this, it's an IP law firm, but they have to prepare for a case. There are some 15-20 judgments that are already existing of similar this one. So now somebody will actually have to sit through and do all of that. So rather than doing that, take these 15-20, give it to ChatGPT, and you say that I want to know firstly the summary of each of these. What were the laws that were cited here? Who were the judges in each of these cases? What is the probability of me winning considering that the judge was Dhiraj Khanna? It does that. So that's pretty.
It's already heavily in use.
So legal, but you know what, Andy, what has happened now is the ability to extract so much more, let's say through 15-20 together, you know, summarize it and then see commonalities between this case, that case, whatever. And what is then applicable to my case? It does that pretty well.
Now the opposing side also, the same scenario. These are the 10, 12 cases or 20 cases of
Yeah.
Since it's a huge word of judgments, data, you can ask it to search for judgments that run against the scenario.
So I think we use there's that site called Kanun.org or whatever that. They have an API, and in that I don't think I can specify if the judgment was whatever, but you can specify the kind of things that you are looking at. So it returns me a whole list of different cases. But you could then, it will be a little more tedious in the sense that you download so many of these PDFs and then give it to ChatGPT and say that, please tell me how many judgments went against this one.
Because in a real time. That's what both the lawyers will do.
Yeah.
For in the case, both lawyers will
all this has to be uploaded.
whatever judgments are in
Already.
No, not only that. No.
It has to be uploaded. Every PDF has to be uploaded.
Yeah.
There is no, but I'll tell you.
See, there must be.
No. So today, because of something like a crew AI, you would actually have an agent which you tell them that, dude, your job is only this. Please do this. Keep at it. Keep at it. Whatever time it takes, but you go through this and do this and give me nicely. So, like we were seeing, you know, it gives a job description and it's finally made this nice document. It has only gone on to that website, done full research on Windward, whatever, and then it has said that, okay, this makes sense. So exactly like this, you have an agent and not one, maybe deploy it.
So will you have applications now for this?
Yes.
Like
Yes, absolutely.
for a lawyer to pay for and I don't want to go through those big books. That's what. I go into the application. Earlier when you go to a lawyer's office, rooms and rooms of law books, which they physically have to refer to. Today it's one computer and
One computer, and now I'm saying you don't even need a human being who will be fatigued and this and that. You don't want a human in the loop.
somebody else will do it and put the assets to you.
Put the AI on job who will not make a mistake and will not get tired. So you go party in the night, full night, it will work for you. Morning, it's ready.
Judges also can part.
Yeah.
They also can do the same thing to make a break.
I think they need this room.
Oh yeah.
So,
Not the room so much, but 12:30 now.
Yeah.
I'm sure we all have meetings or commitments. Not so much room, we have some tea and snacks, just in case if you're hungry.
But to see what is possible.
There is a lot possible here, and
What is job at stake?
thank you so much for sharing and thank you.
They don't take it as a gospel truth, but they're using it for research.
Only people who can't be replaced by this is songwriters.
No.
Yeah.
I'm carrying my car, but,
So this is my cousin.
Asha.
Session has opened up
Going to have usually we have a boardroom on fourth floor. No, that is GMS part. Why? There's only in our office building, it's about 20 people. That's where this should have been.
Thank you.
together.
Thank you.